There was once a young man, restless soul, eager heart, and eyes set on the world. He lived under the roof of a wise father, generous, respected, and wealthy. A man who didn't just have land and workers, but legacy and vision. But to the youngest son, all of it felt like a prison. He didn't want to sow, just reap. Didn't want to learn, just spend. Didn't want inheritance, just independence. So one morning, hiding pride behind ambition, he looked his father in the eye and said, "Give me my share of the inheritance." It was like saying to me, "You're already dead." And the father gave it to him. Not because he was weak, but because some lessons can't be taught, they must be lived. With hands full of gold and a head full of dreams, the son ran toward the world. Far from limits, advice, and order, he felt free, untouchable, rich, and that was the beginning of the fall. Because the first brutal financial truth in this story is this: money isn't what destroys you. Money without purpose does. He parted, he indulged, he surrounded himself with fake friends and fast pleasure. He didn't save, he didn't invest, he just consumed. And the more he spent, the emptier he felt, until one day, the gold was gone. No warning, no goodbye, and with it, the party ended. So did the friends, so did the open doors. Suddenly, the rich man's son was alone, filthy, starving. And here comes the second truth: freedom without principles leads to invisible slavery. He ended up feeding pigs, the lowest, most humiliating job for a Jewish man. He was so hungry, he envied their food, from wealth to shame, from pride to desperation. But in that dark, dirty place, a spark lit up. He remembered his father, not the money, the character. How many of my father's workers have more than enough to eat, and here I am starving to death? That thought was worth more than all the gold he had wasted. It didn't fix his situation, but it shifted his perspective. This is where real financial restoration begins. Not when your pockets are full again, but when your mindset is. He didn't head home proud. He walked back broken, filthy, barefoot. He rehearsed his confession, "Make me like one of your hired servants." He thought he'd lost the right to be a son, but what he didn't know was that grace had been waiting all along. His father saw him, far off, didn't wait, didn't ask questions. He ran. A rich elderly man running? Unheard of in that culture, but love breaks protocol. He hugged him, he wept, and the son could barely get the words out. "Father, I've sinned against heaven and against you." But the father cut him off. "Bring the best robe, put a ring on his finger, shoes on his feet, and prepare a feast, not to erase the past, but to declare something deeper. God doesn't just restore your finances, He restores your identity." Because the son's biggest financial mistake wasn't wasting money, it was forgetting who he was. And here comes another powerful key. You can't manage abundance with a mindset shaped by scarcity. The father didn't give him more gold, he gave him something greater, the chance to begin again with wisdom. That feast didn't celebrate success, it celebrated return, not to wealth, but to design. Yet the story doesn't end there, because there's one more character, and his part is just as important. If you're enjoying this, hit like and subscribe. Alright, let's get back to the story. While the music played and the celebration filled the air, another figure appeared at the edge of the estate, the older brother. He hadn't left, hadn't failed, hadn't asked for anything. He'd stayed, worked, obeyed. So when he heard there was a feast, that his brother had come back, and that the fattened calf had been slaughtered, he burned with anger. He refused to go in. He couldn't believe it. How could his father reward recklessness? "I've served you all these years," he said. "I never disobeyed you, and you never gave me even a goat to celebrate with my friends. But this son of yours comes back after wasting everything, and you throw him a party?" The father looked at him with compassion. "Son, You are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate, because your brother was dead, and now he lives. He was lost, and now he's found. And right here we unlock a third financial principle most people miss. Hard work without joy can still leave you broke inside. The older brother had access to the entire estate, but he lived like a servant, not a son. His loyalty wasn't rooted in love, but in expectation. If I do good, I should get more. How often do we live like that? We earn, save, perform, but we don't celebrate. We don't rest. We don't recognize that wealth isn't about what you have. It's about what you understand. He lived surrounded by abundance, but couldn't see it. That too is poverty. Subtle, dangerous, because you can have everything you need and still act like you're starving. That's why this moment matters. Both sons were lost, one in rebellion, the other in religion, and both needed to come back, not just to their father, but to a right understanding of value, identity, and stewardship. The older son stayed within the system but outside the heart. The younger son left everything but returned with vision, and together their lives reveal the full blueprint for financial wisdom. Money is not the goal, it's a mirror. It multiplies whatever's already inside you. If your heart is aligned, money serves you. If not, money exposes you. The prodigal son learned what most people never do, that having money doesn't mean you're ready, that financial management starts before the money comes, that work isn't punishment, it's the ground where vision grows. Here's a truth that stings, but heals. You don't need more income, you need more structure. Not more chances, but more obedience. God doesn't restore you to repeat your mistakes. He restores you so you can lead, so you can become a testimony, a walking reminder that failure is not the end, if you choose to learn from it. The son came back with no shoes, but full of wisdom, no coin, but full of purpose, and that made him richer than before, because a second chance, in the hands of the wise, is more powerful than the first. And if your lessons came through pain, hunger, and loss, then what's ahead of you won't just be abundant, it'll be sustainable. But the story isn't quite over yet. There's still one final truth, a closing scene that carries the weight of eternity. The prodigal didn't return to reclaim his old life. He came back to build a new one. No longer the reckless dreamer chasing freedom without direction. Now he was a man shaped by failure and redefined by grace. And that's the message echoing through this story, across time into your life. It's not just about how badly you failed with money, it's about whether you're ready to grow from it. Because in God's economy, failure isn't final, refusing to change is. And when you come back, not just broke, but humble. Not just empty, but teachable. God doesn't just forgive you. He repositions you. He restores your tools, returns your vision, rebuilds your identity, and hands you the keys to a new kind of wealth, one rooted in character, not coins. So today the story hands you a choice. You can dismiss it as a simple parable, or you can recognize your own journey in it. Have you demanded too much too soon? Have you wasted what was placed in your hands? Have you run from wisdom to chase pleasure? Then hear this clearly. Your fall doesn't have to be your finish. It can be your foundation, your failure, your school. And if you, like that son, decide to come back, to own your mistakes, to walk in purpose, to apply what you've learned, then get ready, because this time you won't just receive, you'll multiply. And what's coming won't just be wealth, it'll be legacy, purpose, and impact that echoes into eternity. If you want to see finances and personal growth through a deep biblical perspective, subscribe and hit like. That way you help us keep creating reflections that truly transform.